Hi there, mamas and friends. It's Sarah from Late Night Coffee Moms. Oh, let me scoot this over a little bit so you can see my awesome sign. Ooh, lights. I was blocking my light. Okay. So it's been a while. I've missed you guys. I had a great little getaway with my husband, and it was really nice. And now I'm back. So I know. Hi. I would really like to know what you guys think. Is it good once a week, or do you want more than once a week? I am thinking about cutting it down to just a couple times a week instead of every night, but we'll see. You let me know what you think. How much do you want? How many lives do you want? So this is kind of be sort of an all-in-one live minus, let me get rid of that so I stop doing that, minus the writing, the ride-along. So we're going to sit and chat and fit some stuff in. So before we get into anything, I have questions for you, and I'd love your guys to answer, but I'll give you a while to think it over. So I'm going to ask you right now. So what projects are you guys working on right now? You know, home decorations, yard work, animal care? Are you focused on losing weight? Are you focused on, I don't know, growing your hair out? You know, for me, you know, or writing a book, because, you know, that's my thing. For me, I'm like a computer, and I have multiple files open at the same time. And so I have many open projects. I'm checking my notes to make sure I'm covering what I want to talk about. I have many open projects that are just out there, always plaguing my mind, always distracting me. Today I had this horrible case of like jitters and like literally shaking, too much caffeine probably. And my brain just couldn't sit still because I had so many different projects I needed to work on. And all of them were calling my name and would not be quiet. The only project that I never feel calling my name, as in wooing me to it, but it always screams at me, is laundry. You know, so at home, just a normal daily life for me. I don't know what life is like for you. I can only assume it's kind of like this. I have dishes. That's normal home stuff. Laundry. I also need to clear off my dresser in the master bedroom and go through my makeup and throw some of it away that I don't use anymore, or that's expired. You know, I need to go through my closet and purge some of that kind of stuff. And then if you go to my work side of life, I've got book 2 that I'm trying to finish. That's gone past its deadline. Oh, and it just it's like fingernails grating in my brain because it went past the deadline that we had set. But it's okay. It'll be published soon. So I've got book 2 waiting to be published. Book 3 I still haven't finished. I just set off to the side because it was nagging me. Oh, probably like I nagged my husband. It was bad. And then I have my blog, and all of that takes work. All of that takes extra time away from some of the normal stuff. So there's normal life, there's blogging life, and then there's homeschooling life. Because in our homeschool, because everybody's homeschool is a little bit different, we have a little bit over a quarter left of our homeschool. So we have a little bit over 9 weeks. I think we have almost 10 weeks left until we're done for the year. Looking at the end of a freshman year, looking at the end of elementary school, you know, that's going to be gone. It'll be junior high and high school only, okay, kind of stuff. That's coming up. And it's a little more difficult at this time of year to focus. I just don't want to. I don't want to focus on that part of life anymore. I want to move on. I've already chosen a lot of my curriculum for next year, and it's shiny and it's beautiful, and I want to just dive into that and tear it apart and get involved and see all the beautiful things we're going to see in that, and I'm impatient for it. And then, but I still have to press on to what this year is, you know, what we've committed to do, what we need to finish. And that's a day-to-day thing. That's me and my kids, and I'm sure you guys and your kids are the same way. Just done with that part of life. It's the last quarter is just, it just drags. It just feels like it's dragging. There's nothing new and exciting. Nothing exciting seems like it's coming. It's just a whole lot of deadlines and a whole lot of pressure and a whole lot of boredom heaped on top of it. Even on a good day, it's hard. So I find myself getting through together time and then kind of relaxing a little bit when I really need to be helping my students push through and get things done so we can have a bigger relaxed space in the summer. So what does that have to do with what I'm asking you guys? I want to know what you guys are working on. What kind of things are needling at you? What kind of things do you need to accomplish for yourself, for your family, for whatever reason you need to accomplish it, that are you just can't get yourself to focus on? And so what I find myself doing is I hop from project to project and I never fully give myself all in to one thing. And that led me to our verse of the week, which is Colossians 3:23. And I'll wait a second, just in case you want to snag your Bible or bring up Blue Letter Bible or something like that and look it up with me. And I'm going to have not coffee because I got crazy jittery today. I'm having tea. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was like a toddler on a sugar rush today. It was not good. Not good at all. All right. So Colossians 3:23, I'm going to be looking down. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. Why? As working for the Lord and not for human masters. Whatever you do encompasses all those open tabs, all those open projects that I just cannot get done. It includes the dishes, which feels like I need to be working because working is what's going to bring in income. Working is what's going to help my family. But even if I'm sitting here doing the dishes, I need to do it with all of my heart, like I'm doing it to God and not just for my family and not just because it's one more thing I got to get done. As if I'm washing God's dishes. How would you wash God's dishes? Would you rush it? Would you make sure all the spots were off of it? If God was coming to your house and you had a place setting that was God's place setting and he came every Thursday night, what would you do? How would you wash those? Would you get new plates every time? Would you have a special thing just for him? Would you frown at, I gotta go wash God's dishes again? How would you wash God's dishes? It would be a lot different, I bet, than how we wash our own. Or folding his laundry. That always flabbergasts me how Jesus had a normal life like us. He had laundry. His mom had to help wash his laundry. Now, back then, they didn't have a whole lot of clothing like we have now. But I'm sure she scrubbed some gross stuff, and I'm sure she had to fold laundry like we do. She was washing the Messiah's undies. I mean, I bet it's different. Maybe not for her so much because that was her kid. But I meant afterwards, after he died and came back, and she was fully 100% aware of who he was. I'm sure it changed how she felt about that laundry later on. Or what about, the book you're writing or the blog you're writing or the class you're taking or the exams that are coming up or the driver's ed stuff you're tackling? Do you work on that as if you're working for the Lord with everything you've got? Work at it with all your heart because it's God's blog, it's God's book, it's God's DMV driver test that you need to take? I don't know. And then homeschooling, the same thing. I mean, public school, government school, private school, whatever. Do you help your children prepare for that like you're helping prepare them to do their best for God? Or do you just worry about grade point average? Do you worry about test scores? Does God worry about grade point average? Does he worry about test scores? So a lot of my homeschool friends have talked to me about this before, and I've seen government school parents do the same thing. I've seen myself do the same thing and when I was in public school and all that kind of stuff, that we start out with the right focus. My whole reason, our family's whole reason for homeschooling, even though we came about it in a weird way, was because we felt called to. We felt called to, and we felt this is what God wanted us to do with our children. And so we dove into that, right? And as a result of that, not really as a result of that, but we felt led and called to do that. But we feel like every parent, no matter what kind of schooling they decide is best for their children with the Lord's leading, is told to train them up in the way they should go, to talk about God's word day in, day out, when they're walking in the street, when they're leaving the house, when they're coming back home. They're instructed to instruct. They're instructed to disciple, right? And so I think we all start out with the focus of, we are going to make Christ the center. We're going to make God the center. This is going to be our focus. And at least for us in our homeschool, that's where we started. We started there and we went for it. And then this shiny thing came up, a curriculum, a book, and we kind of dove that way, and God would pull us back this way. And then this shiny thing would come up and we'd follow it thinking it's going to help us, almost like it's going to save us, but not our souls, just like our reputation or whatever. And then God pulls us back and says, no, I want this focus. I'm the focus. Focus on me. Do this with all of your heart because you're working for me, not for human masters. And at the old church I attended, there are a lot of extremely intelligent and academic minds there. And it could get to where if I wasn't watching out for my own heart and I wasn't careful, I would compare myself and my journey to them and their journey, which is a completely different thing. And I would start worrying about, am I doing enough for my kids, for their school, for their education? Am I doing enough for this? Even though I know my kids and I know what they're capable of, and I don't know God's plans for them, but I know their potential, right? I can see it. I know when they fully absorbed a subject because it oozes out of them. But I would start comparing my work to other people's work as if I was doing it to please them, even though they had nothing in life that I truly wanted, because I want my path with God to be what He has designed me to do. And I have nothing in my life that they want. But I still would compare and drag myself back and start working my way to impress this person and working my way to impress this person without even realizing it. And the results would be things like, well, you're in this area, this particular kid of mine is smarter than this person, this person, this person. First of all, how messed up is that of me to compare it in my own head? So I'm just like, okay, we're good on that because you're already above average there. So we'll just leave that alone. And over here, you're not as good as this kid, and this kid. And so I would shove them to do harder in these subjects, which God had never called them to do. And I think probably all of us do that in one way or another, whether it's fitness, health, social behavior, academics, sports, anything like that. It's easy to compare because comparison helps us feel like we're safe. If we can just be better than the average, then we're safe, right? And I am sorry for anybody I've ever judged that way, knowingly or unknowingly. If you're watching, I'm sorry. You probably know because I'm not very good at hiding my expressions. So you probably know if I've judged you, and I don't set out to do it. It's just how it happens because I stop focusing. I forget who I'm working for. I start working for me and my status and you and what you think of me and them and what they think of me and those people over there and if I could be better than them, instead of focusing on giving it all I've got because I'm working for God. And if I give it all I've got and I'm working for God, then He carries the results, not me. I don't carry the results. He's got them. He's just asked me to do it all. Because in this verse, He doesn't say, hey, it's all going to be great and rosy and beautiful because you're working for me. I'm going to make you ultra successful. You're going to be the best at this. Everyone's going to fall at your feet because you are going to be the master of this particular domain. He's saying, work for Him, not for human masters. We got to trust Him with the results. We've got to trust Him that what he's put in front of us is what we need to be tackling, and we need to do it 100% with everything we've got. So what, my sweet friends, are you working on? Are you working on this 90-day New Testament challenge? I will tell you, we are behind. We're catching up, but we're behind. And do I feel a little bit guilty about that? A little bit, but we're still making steps, right? We're still making baby steps to deeper relationship with God, and that never is misplaced time. So I don't need to feel guilty about that. Just keep going, right? Are you behind in homeschooling? Are you comparing your children to other people's children? Maybe you have some kind of learning challenges in your home. We've got that. We've got that. I can't see. I can look around at anybody and everybody and point out some kind of disadvantage or disability everyone I know has if I wanted to. It's there. But sometimes when you're working in a home where there's learning disabilities, it's easy, again, to take your focus off of doing it for the Lord, and you start doing it for the future, doing it for progress, doing it for status quo, doing it for the some days, the what ifs. God's got all that. He just wants you to do whatever you work at, to do it with all of your heart for him. He's got the rest. He's got the rest. We don't need to compare. We don't need to panic. We don't need to berate ourselves. We just need to take what task we're working on right now and do it like we're doing it for him. And I'm laughing because I'm looking at myself in this video and I'm like, look at my hair, look at my face, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't look like I'm doing anything for him, except for I'm being honest. I guess I could say that. I'm showing you guys my bags, my tiredness. I put lip gloss on for you. But I mean, this is who I am. And I'm offering it to you to show you can be who you are, because God created you that way. And where you fall short, he's already ready to help you and to pick you up and to do that heavy lifting for you. We're not enough. We have to have him. God is so awesome. He tells us, he's not going to give us more than we can tolerate or more than we can bear. But at the same time, he tells us all things are possible with him, which means we can take anything. We can get through anything because all things are possible through him. So take a breath. Stop judging yourself. Think of the one thing today or tomorrow or whenever you're watching this that you are working on, and jump into it. I don't care if it's laundry. I don't care if it's thank you cards. I really don't care if it's painting your fingernails. Do it as if you're doing it for God and not for man. And how do you feel afterwards? Does it feel any different? Do you feel any freer? What are the results? I don't know. Do they matter? All right, guys. I'm so glad to be here with you guys again. Peppermint tea. I was expecting coffee and I forgot. All right. I'll catch you next time. Bye.